All right, let's stay on this story and speak now to Colin Harding in Manchester. Colin, you're a Latin America analyst, as someone that follows Latin America so closely. What do you make of Mexico's first female president?
Well, she's very much a sort of follower of her predecessor, of a man known as AMLO. Very different sort of character, but what she says, she's going to continue the work that López Obrador initiated. He saw himself very much as a providential figure. He never saw a stage that he didn't want to be front and center on. Created this immense public following. Described by his opponents as a mere populist, but she's very different. She's academic, she's very precise and careful in what she says, but she's promised to carry on the work that he initiated, which has raised millions of Mexicans out of poverty. I think López Obrador promised far more than he ever delivered, but he did make definite gains for lots of people, and she says she's going to continue that in rather a vague way, but she certainly sees herself as she says she's going to be her own woman. She's not going to just be a puppet of AMLO, but she is going to very much carry on his movement.
Now, I'm just thinking from an international perspective, of course, the border there with the US, a very important election year also for the US. Let's just look at the scenarios here. So the possible relationship there between Donald Trump and Claudia Sheinbaum, and of course, current President Biden and Claudia Sheinbaum.
Well, she says she'll get on with whoever it is. I mean, she says she's no fear of Trump, for instance. If he becomes president again, she will say she'll stand up to whoever's in the White House, which goes down well in Mexico because they have a very nationalistic sort of pride that they're not just pushed around by the Americans. But of course, there are very real issues at stake here, particularly the question of drugs. The enormous quantities of fentanyl which cross the border into the United States from Mexico, and cause such terrible problems there. And the question of migration. I mean, the Mexicans have been going back from the US to Mexico in recent years in large numbers, but huge numbers of particularly Central Americans and people from places like Ecuador and Colombia and Venezuela have been moving through Mexico to try and get into the United States. And this has caused all kinds of problems. And Trump claims he's going to do mass deportations of illegal migrants. Claudia Sheinbaum has said in no certain terms that she wouldn't accept that.
And just staying on this international perspective, Claudia Sheinbaum is also a climate scientist and the ex-mayor of Mexico City, 20 million people. So somebody that really knows about climate issues, city issues as well. How important will this be?
Very important. Mexico, city, as you say, is an enormous place, and they've got a terrible series of crises at the moment, particularly water. The city was built originally on what was previously a lake when the Aztecs had their capital in the middle of on an island in the middle of a lake, but that was drained a long time ago, and water is now a huge issue, and all kinds of other environmental problems in pollution and the housing and so on. It's a massive problem. She's got quite a lot of experience of trying to deal with these things, and again, she's been quite vague about it, but she'll have a wealth of experience in trying to tackle them.
Thank you so much, Colin Harding. Thank you for your time and your analysis today.